What's up, everybody? It's your boy Eric from Easy Computer Solutions. I hope y'all didn't see that, like me kind of stuck like that, and I'm waiting on the live button to come up. This is Saturday Night Tech Talk. This is Eric from Easy Computer Solutions. Man, I got a great panel for y'all tonight as we do this every Saturday, and I got all my smart watches and smart gadgets buzzing all on my wrist right now. So that means we must be live. I want to say what's up to everybody that joined us every Saturday night. We've been doing this for almost 3 years now, and it's always a pleasure to do these live streams. But tonight we got the guys on deck, and we got a good panel for y'all. And so tonight we got Mr. Catwoman in the building. What's up with you? Hey, so I don't want to get people confused, right? Now, if you watch Wine Wednesday, he has his wife on there, aka Catwoman, Tech Valor. And so this is the husband right here. Awesome guy. Say what's up to everybody, man. You on deck.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Name is Cecil Betty, aka Mr. Catwoman. Here representing Tech Valor, techvalor.net, Tech Valor on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tech Valor everywhere. Come check us out. Scrumptious, I see you. What's up?
Scrumptious in the building. And so this past Wednesday, on the Wine Wednesday, I know all y'all was there, everybody that's in the comments that's coming aboard here. We had a young lady on here. Her name was Sandwich, right? What was her name?
Cheeseburger says
Sam. All right. So I got a husband here, and look, I got Nasty J is in the building. What's up with you? Let everybody know who you are.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Nasty J. I go by J, but that's the channel name is Nasty J. Just coming here first time, so I'm hanging out, checking it out. Any of your tech questions, put it in the in the chat box there, and we're happy to answer it and see what we got going on.
That's right. And your wife's channel is called Cheeseburger Saves. I don't know what I say, sandwich?
Sandwich.
I say sandwich. Yeah. And everybody knows Mr. Craig. What's up with you, Craig?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hey, you got the Star Wars shirt on, man. That's what I'm talking about. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about that before. Return of the Jedi. It's good to be back on again.
Oh yeah. And we got then right here, got my man back. 10-minute tech. What's up with you, man?
Me, real name, of course, Reggie. But 10-minute tech reviews on YouTube, 10-minute tech reviews on Google Plus, Twitter, Instagram, same thing. Kind of new to the YouTube community. Started posting, but did reviews for other companies and things like that. So I decided to branch out on my own this year and wanted to start a channel and do just like you guys right now, try to get all the information we can out to the consumers about all these products.
You know, one thing about YouTube, and we could talk about that because we had a heavy conversation about YouTube, I think last week or maybe Wednesday for Wine Wednesday. One of the things that I have good passion about this, we all small YouTubers, except Craig. Craig got that huge channel over there. We all small YouTubers, and we just grind and try to do what we can over here to try to make it happen. Now, we could talk about the pros and cons about YouTube because it is pros and cons for YouTube. A lot of people is upset about a lot of things with YouTube. But before we get into that, I want to give a huge shout out to Derek Floyd. He's a huge supporter of this channel. Now, you can support this channel a couple of ways. I have a Patreon account. The link is down in the description. Okay. Or you want to do super chats. The hard work behind this stuff, and actually I made a video about everything that I do behind the scenes. Believe it or not, that's not everything that I do, but I didn't want to make the video like 30 minutes. So I made the video maybe 10 minutes to kind of show you everything that goes on behind the scenes with Easy Computer Solutions. This is just not a tech channel. It is a complete experience because I have 3 studios, I have websites, I have WordPress.com, I have merchandise shops and everything all in between. So we do a lot of stuff here on Easy Computer Solutions. And I have people that's working very hard in the background to make sure that these shows happen on time, that I get the guests. And so huge shout out to the people, my producer, and everybody that worked hard behind the scenes to make this stuff happen. All right, but enough of me chippy-chapping along. Y'all are tired of seeing me. Y'all see me all the time. Y'all like, oh, God, Eric, there you go, rambling off. Rambling off. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about the ad apocalypse, right? I will get y'all thoughts about the ad apocalypse, right? Then by what it is next month on the 20th, right? If you don't have 4,000 hours, if you don't have 1,000 subscribers, you get cut, right? Now, they got pros and cons with this, right? Now, a lot of things happen. I know it probably happened to you, Craig, that I got 3 YouTube channels with over 1,000 videos out there. My YouTube videos get stolen. People just create a YouTube channel, take Easy Computer Solution videos and post it to get views and revenue. Well, I think that's that's part of the issue that YouTube trying to stop. That means that channels like that will not get revenue, even if they steal our videos. So that's a positive. All right.
Yeah.
But let me get y'all guys' thoughts about some of this. Now I know, Mr. Cecil, you don't have a YouTube channel. But you got thoughts because your wife has a YouTube channel, so she's going to be affected, right?
Yeah, I say we because sometimes I do put in input on some of the YouTube stuff that's gone up. But yeah, we are definitely going to be affected. We're not going to worry about it too much because we know there are people out there who will enjoy Tech Valor and the Tech Valor brand. It really sucks because we actually got some really good videos out there that got some pretty decent views that we're not going to get monetized on after the 20th. But I see YouTube doing what they're doing as a business move, and can't really blame YouTube for doing what they're doing because they know they want money, just like how we do. But I can see in the future at some point in time that you got to have like an 8-year master's degree as a director to be to make money, but it's all good.
Nasty J, what's your thoughts about it?
My thing, touching base on what you said about the people stealing your videos and being able to monetize them, meeting the prior requirements, it took a little bit of time for their channels to gain influence and subscriber base and watch time before they could start even earning ad revenue. But if you partnered with an MCN, you could quickly file that through your MCN, which would go through YouTube, which would take those videos off and ban those channels. So looking at it from that aspect, I think that it still hurts smaller channels like my wife's, who she's done everything right. And just because there's a few bad apples in the bunch, I think you need to create tools to prevent those type of people from doing that kind of thing, other than penalizing everybody who's trying to start out or who have already been trying for the last year or 2 years to grow their channel and invest that time, because a lot of people do it part-time, instead of punishing them for it because of some bad people. Yeah. I also believe that these requirements, it's taking away from people's drive and motivation to put creative content out there, because they're putting so much into it. They're investing so much time and resources and money into making their channels better so people watch them more, so their content's better, so people will subscribe, and then they can start earning that money back to invest back into the business. But when you take that away, people got less money to invest into the channel, less time, because there's no motivation now. Because it's like, I do this for fun and I do it out of passion, but I want some type of reward from it. I want to be able to put some money into it that I make off of it to make my production value better. And you just take that completely away. And so these small YouTubers that have full-time jobs that do this part-time, they're like, what's the point now? Why do I even want to bother you spending all this time editing and scripting and making these videos, or investing in, these lights and cameras and equipment, streaming software, when there's no payoff? Because you've raised the bar so high that it's just almost unobtainable for these smaller channels, because people want the biggest and best thing on YouTube. I want good production value. I want good lighting. I want, things put together so nicely. It's like me, I just started out full time, and trying to get to that bar to where those successful channels are, there's so much production value that goes into it. And you need a good camera, and you need a good system, and you need good software to do that. So it's taken a lot of money to put into it. And I was able to partner early on with my MCN, who I'm paying them to do things for me and give me that sense of, security when if other people try to steal my stuff or whatnot. But I think that this is not a good move because of what bigger YouTubers have done, which have hurt the brand and made advertisers really second guess their decision making in YouTube. And it's like, okay, but you're not punishing them because they get to keep doing what they're doing, but you're going to put a hurt on the littler channels.
Yeah. Craig, what's your thoughts?
Oh, I want to talk so much because I feel like I started to help my kids with the channel, and then they decided they didn't want to do it. But the requirements, it was that 10,000 view thing. And from all the research I did, I missed being monetized by 2 days. It was apparently November 22nd was like the last day that like the 10,000 views worked. And then it was like on November 24th, I crossed that threshold. So I missed being monetized. And then I had a video that exploded on me that has 250,000 views. So then YouTube comes up with these. I'm wondering, when am I going to get monetized? When? They come up with these new rules. And in a way, I'm frustrated. And I have a leg to stand. They say that anybody who crossed the threshold or whatever in the last month will be held to these standards. Well, I crossed it technically like 2 months ago. But even with that frustration, luckily I had a video with 250,000 views. It gave me the watch time. I'm at 1,100 subscribers. So I just barely crossed those thresholds. But with kind of the setbacks, I'm excited. And the reason I'm excited is that you just really needed the requirements before. You just needed something to hit. And it didn't even need to be good. It just needed to hit once, 10,000 views. You were in. Ad dollars were going there, and they weren't going necessarily to quality. Where now, when you weed out that stuff, you got to get the watch time. If you can make it through, you're going to get paid more in the long run, is what I feel like, is that you are going to be part of that select group who actually generates some money off of it. So that kind of excites me. It's like, if you make it and you're going to make quality content, you are going to have, like, I'm blown away. I just put a video up today, and it has, like, in a half an hour, it had 15 views. That's not a lot, but it blows my mind that to have people who subscribe, who are interested, who will click, and you'll get that watch time because of the people, the awesome people out there who support you. So if you are making good stuff, you're going to get it. It just might take you 6 months, but what's going to be nice is next Christmas. That's the reason. That's the business side. That's when the ad revenue is the highest. That's when they weren't letting any new people in. They were losing ad money because crap channels were taking it. And the Ford, all the big people are like, we're done with this shit. So now they hit the brakes. But next year, all of us, when we keep making good stuff, we're going to get the good check on the ads next year. We're not going to have the crap in the way. That's what I'm excited about. It just means you gotta deliver on your content, and everybody here is delivering. So it's just a matter of time.
That's right. 10-minute tech review. What you think?
God, all y'all have hit it on the head. I think the one thing I'm glad we're here tonight. I kind of wanted to understand it fully. You know, being new to the thing, being new to all of this for the most part of putting out my own content. The way I'm reading it, it looks good. I mean, I agree with it was Craig. I agree with what he said. I mean, it's going to help that in the long run. It's going to help, you know, making sure you put out the content. I think there's pros and cons. I mean, for all of us, I think overall, to me, striving to put out good stuff and good content for the people that watch us or follow us is pretty much what we all strive to do, rather than just throw something out there and just hope you get the views, or hope you get this, or hope you get that. But, you know, maybe it will, you know, in the long run, maybe not in the short term. Again, I'm new to all of it. So for me, you know, my videos and things that I put out, I'm going to try to put them out the best that I can. But I think in the long run, it probably will weed out those that were possibly, you know, the content stealers, or, you know, and also the people who were just putting stuff out there just to, you know, where
Right.
it didn't matter, and
Right.
it was taken away from other people that put time and effort into what they were doing.
You know what? And so here's my thoughts about this, right? A lot of people make these comments about YouTube is a hobby. And I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about the people, like when we make these videos about demonetization on YouTube, right? People say, well, YouTube is a hobby. Let me tell you this. To me, Easy Computer Solutions, LLC is a company, okay? I look at YouTube and everything that I do here as far as a company-wise, you know, online business that I use. This is a fundamental business. So when you say hobby, to me, that don't apply to me. I look at YouTube, I look at the whole foundation as a job, company, and whatsoever. Now, if I was in the ad apocalypse, I would feel some kind of way, because here's the thing. Here's the difference between somebody posting a video as a hobby and posting a passionate video. A person that's posting just a hobby video, they don't care about lighting. They don't care about telling the truth. They don't care about the product. They're just throwing a video up with nothing in it. That's what I don't want to see, right? We got hundreds of thousands of so-called this person or so-called that person that just put up a video. I mean, I see videos in portrait mode, for Christ's sakes, right? Go ahead.
What's interesting though, it's like it's a different world that I kind of appreciate it. There's someone that I like, Eddie Burback. A funny guy, a kid like in his 20s, just brilliant. I saw a tweet he had out asking to have his video monetized so he could pay his rent. And you know what? That someone like that, though, that they really Patreon or some sponsorship or, you know, ads mean a lot. But in this tech space, it's kind of an interesting space because you can do the affiliate programs. There's other sources of income that some of these YouTubers so the cost is higher, but you can offset some of that cost by having the affiliate programs and generating some income, because your tech needs to be a little tighter. If you have a vlog and you're storytelling, you rely on the Google ads, but your production value isn't as high. So, you know, there's a trade. Yes. I mean, it's like your game's got to be higher in the tech world.
Hey, Easy. I kind of know where I feel like I know where you were going when you started what you were talking about. But it's like me, when I make a video, I don't just throw something up. Even though I'm, small channel, it's a thought process of what I want to say, how I want to say it. Because again, my channel, the whole focus is I'm trying to do reviews in 10 minutes or less. So you have to kind of have a nice format has to be there for me. And then, you know, the roadmap of where I want to go in under 2 minutes or in under 10 minutes, excuse me. So I can, you know, hit that goal of what I'm trying to do. So I can't just throw a video up there and hope to make 10 minutes. You know, I want it to make sense. What I'm saying, you know, everything about what I'm going to go over. So well, like everybody else says, you can't just throw something up. Yeah, this is not, it is still a passion for me. All tech is a passion for me. I work the job that I have. That's what I do. So it's a passion. This part of it, I want it to be fun, which it is. So I'm turning this fun part of the passion, the thing that I like to do, into something where I can help others. And when they get ready to make their choices to go get this or go get that or what we see, you know, this, that, and the other. So, you know, it's still got to have quality, though, to me. You just still can't throw it up. It's still got to have quality.
And that's the point, like, that I be trying to, you know, make. Trust me, I do understand most of the compassionate YouTubers out there, whether or not it's in the tech space or whatever kind of videos they make, right? You could tell the difference between a YouTuber that have compassion in this and a YouTuber that does not have compassion in this. You could tell, and listen, don't get me wrong, I do understand things cost a lot. I mean, listen, DSLRs, let's be honest. When you talk about DSLRs, you talk about studio lighting, you know, stuff like that, that does cost a lot, right? And I know that you could just use a smartphone and try to get some good lights and try to film. I think that is because that's how I started, actually, before I went out and started buying all those cameras and stuff. I started like that. I started like, you know, because believe me, my first 100 videos on this YouTube channel was terrible. I was filming with a Nexus 6 for Christ's sakes, and you know the poor focusing on the Nexus 6 was terrible, but I made it happen. And so what I did was, even though I would get no, I put up a video and get 10 views on it. And I used to do live streams, and I had one person watching me. And I was like, oh my God, I was like blowing. But I did a live stream like I had a million people watching me. So I thought about that. I said, well, I got one person watching me, and I'm doing a 2-hour live stream. And it was funny back then because that's when I started doing live streams. And so when I started getting stuff together, my whole plateau is that what could I do to be different? That's the key to this whole YouTube stuff, guys. Because at the end of the day, Casey Neistat is the best vlogger on the planet. You can't beat that. I mean, he vlog. I don't know if he started it, but he vlogs a lot of stuff like that. You got other YouTubers like the big YouTube channels. They do their things, you know. So people always ask me this question: what about YouTube that I could be different? Now I just found out, just like y'all, about referred YouTubers. Now I didn't know that you know how YouTube push the referral, the preferred YouTubers get pushed more better than a smaller YouTube. But I want to touch base on what Craig said. Hey, you're absolutely right. I do believe that in the long run, when all the smaller YouTubers that's not faithful to the brand leaves, then when the ads do come in for the YouTubers that does put in a good production, that does work hard on this, I think we probably will see a boost in revenue when it comes down to smaller YouTubers. And I think this was phases, guys. See, I've been talking about this for about a year. I say that this got to be in phases. We had the 10,000 views. Remember how that started? 10,000 views. Then when they had the super chat, you had to have so many subscribers for super chat. Then the ad apocalypse hit. Everybody started getting demonetized. Then now we got this going on. Then you got like YouTube TV, which is subscription-based services. You got YouTube Red. So you got all this stuff going on, and I think some YouTubers are going to be put part of certain avenues that's going to get paid a little more for better content and stuff like that. So I don't know. I just believe I'm with you 100%, Craig, as far as you're passionate about it. You look at it. You do what you got to do. It's going to work in the long run. It may not happen today, but next year, if you still do what you do, it's all about the ground. Because here's the thing. I've been on YouTube 3 years now. All right. And trust me, look at this. I only got 17,000 subscribers, folks. It ain't like I got 170,000 or 1.7 million subscribers. So subscribers are very difficult to get. I'm going to tell you that right now. I got millions of views, but people just don't hit the subscribe button. So, I mean, I don't know. It's like that. It is I don't know. I see all these YouTube videos talk about how you can get millions of views and how you can get this, and they try to sell you a book or sell you a link or something like that.
Yeah. But those guys, see, that goes to how do you make money if you can't generate, you have ads, you have a Patreon, but that's the next level. You got to try to generate a business. But I think it's a good time. I mean, you got to look at it. There's a lot of, I mean, we had the .com bust. We had the real estate bust. This isn't much difference in the sense that everybody was living high and good. And then the people that were fronting the bill said no more. You know, McDonald's, all these people are like, no, you don't get to make crap anymore. Now we're tightening up. You got to prove that you're putting out some decent content. It's going to weed out the people. Guess what? It looked like I would never own a house as the housing market bubble was building. But you know what? It burst. I eventually bought a house later on, and you know, everything, if you do the work, you just got to do the work if you care. I mean, going back to something you said earlier, Casey Neistat, best vlogger ever. If you look at the video that hit for him, it was that bicycle one where he got a ticket. That one was filmed on a little Canon power shot type thing. Wasn't that big, but he cared. He wanted to make a good product. If you want to make a good product, get your iPhone, you know, get the iPhone 3G and go just film it in the don't film it in the shade, not with the sun right over your head making you look crappy. Film it in, just turn it in landscape. Don't do portrait. Just start there and just care. Care and have an idea. Because I mean, you know what? There's nothing brilliant that I'm necessarily doing, but I give a shit every time I make a video.
Yes.
You know, that's
think about that. You all, if I'll hit on the same point, that's great. I was actually flipping through and looking at just random stuff that popped up, the suggested stuff on YouTube, and I see some videos and I'm like, really? Is this where we are today overall? That this video has gotten, you know, 256,000 views about nothing.
Yeah, about Tide challenges, right?
Yeah,
I mean millions of views for that.
I watched the lady was going in, and it was a part 1 and a part 2 of a lady going in about how to treat a baby daddy, and I was like, really? We're watching stuff like this? But again, especially with us doing tech or whatever we're gonna do, if it's tech and more, having that, like you said, give a shit. Yeah. No matter what it is, if it's, I don't care if it's 5 minutes that I'm gonna do, or 2 minutes, what I'm going to put out, whether it takes me a while to get, like you said, where I need to get from a monetization standpoint, I'm going to want to give a shit. And again, as long as that's just me being that. So this whole thing hopefully should weed out the people that don't. But again, we're in a time where people just go to YouTube now and they just want to watch.
You know what? Here's the thing. You got to remember this too. All right. Look at the world we live in right now. I put up an educational video, it gets no views. I put up a funeral video, I get 6,000 views. See, that's the difference there, right? It's a society. Sometimes drama sells, sex sells, right?
Yes.
But you know what? The quality still goes to the top because you might have a ton of views, but if it's crap, no one's subscribing. That's where the new system is great. It's like you got the watch hours because you made garbage and you did clickbait. But you didn't get the subscriber, so no money for you.
You know what's funny? I didn't understand the whole subscriber aspect 4 years ago, when I was really starting to watch YouTube and some of the people that I was following or just watching. And I'm like, oh, so, you know, pick up the phone and just type in, oh, let me go check it, you know, whatever, Flossy Carter or whatever, looking at this, looking at that. And then I didn't realize for a while, it took me a few months, I was like, wait a minute. I want to watch this content, have to subscribe. I see people now, even that I work with, and they say, oh, you have a YouTube channel. I checked you out. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then they'll say, did you subscribe? And they'll be like, well, no, I liked the video. I was like, but did you subscribe? Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, no, I didn't know I had to do that. And I'm like, some people still don't understand what subscribing is like. So I can understand, you know, that's the hard part. You're right. People will come through, flip, look, watch the whole video, but never subscribe to the channel or your channels or anybody's channel. But they'll remember how to get back there, but they don't realize what subscribing can mean overall. But like you said, they'll subscribe to the Tide Pod channel, I guess.
There's also, you know, to the upside to this, the fact that not only is it going to weed out the people who don't take this seriously, it's also going to set the obstacles. So yeah, are these smaller YouTubers going to have obstacles now that they have to overcome to reach a certain point where they can monetize? Yeah, sure. So that can be motivating, but it's also who's going to stick with it? Who's actually going to put in the time? Who's actually going to put in that work if it means that much to you? And that's what they want to see. So there is an upside and there's pros and cons. And to the people that are like, oh man, my channel's small, I don't like this, I hate this, you got to look at it from the business point, like y'all said. Exactly. From their standpoint, they're like, we want to see people who are really serious about this, who actually want to put in the time. And if we make it to where it's that hard to where you have to put in that time, if you're not serious about it, you're not going to do it. Yeah. Now, one thing that a lot of people, I haven't heard them talking about was the policy changes and the guideline changes as well. So if you think you can still put up controversial content and you reach that cap of subscribers and those views and you think you're going to get monetized, that's not going to work that way. Uploading fight videos, violent videos, sexual content videos, they're not going to go ahead and pass that monetization for you. And that's something that people are not realizing too. They're thinking, okay, we just have to hit these milestones before we can hit it. But then again, behind the scenes, they're making those changes as well in the policies that nope, I'm sorry, your content is too controversial.
Yeah.
Congrats that you got a lot of people watching and subscribing to your stuff about a bunch of people beating each other up and people getting their heads blown off or whatnot. But yeah, our advertisers we're not feeling that. So
well, I mean, you're right, because you think about it like this: World Star Hip Hop, that channel, I'm quite sure the whole channel is demonetized.
probably because most of the videos. But see, I like watching those fight videos, though. You know,
But
and
so,
it sucks that that's not how they can. They're not going to get any ad revenue from Google for that, but that's okay because they can have sponsored deals. They can have other ways of getting monetization from Patreon or whatever it is for people that want to watch their content, or they have their own website, their own platform. They could just move all their videos to that and have people go to their website if if they really want to have a problem.
YouTube, though, also gives you that. I thought they give you that tier of any content, like risky content. Like if you're a really big channel, you can, as a sponsor, if you're a Spike channel, you have money, you want that kind of UFC group or men or something. You can pick that tier of put my content on the right channel, even if it's a cussing channel. That's how people with channels that cuss and other stuff don't necessarily get demonetized, because they could have a sponsor because their viewership is there and they are big enough.
I just don't think Google is there yet. I think they're trying to put a cap on it before they start pushing these packages to these different.
I think you got to have 1 million subscribers to be in that level where they'll let you be risky. You don't get to be a low.
Like Google's saying, okay, which advertisers want to put their content on these type of videos?
Yeah,
and it's like, yeah, we'll pay for that because that matches what we do. Like
there's a handful of them will want that.
But I don't know. I don't think Google is there yet. I think they're not there yet. Is where they're going to nitpick these advertisers and say that we can. I don't think they have a grasp on it yet.
They had, from what I was reading in an article, they had like 3 tiers. There was like family friendly, the like PG, and then the free for all, who they, the guys who actually draw a crowd that do drop some F-bombs. That's where the ad, you get to pick where you want to go in their 3-tier system when you advertise with Google. So you'll still have people who are good, who have drop F-bombs. You just don't get to run around and make exploitative nonsense and get monetized, which is great. It's like, hey, you want guys who cuss? We got a dude who will.
But I mean, I've seen it on this YouTube channel a lot. I mean, on Wine Wednesday, or even with a shout out to Ace. I mean, he showed a gun, for Christ's sakes, right? I mean, we cussed all night long on Saturday Night Tech Talk. And I got demonetized for like 3 hours, and then I got remonetized. That video was monetized. So you're absolutely right. And I mean, that I know for sure after Ace pull out his weapons and we cussing all the F-bombs and we drinking, got alcohol all over the place, we know for sure that was going to get demonetized. But it didn't.
But you fall with your history, somehow you probably fall into a category that goes into, there's that group of sponsors that'll do risky, fun. Yeah. So you're safe enough. You haven't crossed off any copyright. You haven't any strikes. So yeah, you get that risky category.
Because we still see that on TV. We still see that in all these shows that we see cussing, guns, and stuff like that. And there's a lot of channels of gun enthusiasts that educate people on guns and stuff like that. And, they're going to get monetized still. But it's how you use it, how you display it, and what you're showing. I think that's the thing that Google looks at is how is it being used and how is the content, and minor cussing here and there and throughout the video. It's like, all right, we see that all the time on TV and other shows and stuff. So that's not bad, but we might put it as this is like a mature, for a mature audience type thing. So, and they already have that for people who have an account that isn't, I think, over 18 or something like that you can't watch certain videos. Something about, how you can change that.
What happened was, you got to think about it like this. When YouTube first started, YouTube had a free fall because YouTube wanted the content. This is how this started. YouTube wanted the content creators. So that's why they just opened up the book and let anybody became a partner, right? So what happened was YouTube wanted plenty different videos and all this content on YouTube. Now we got YouTube is flooded with videos, good content, bad content, controversial content. Now YouTube is saying, well, let's go on and kind of let's get some stuff straightened up here, man. We got the Logan Pauls, we got the PewDiePies, man. We got to do something here, you know. So I think what they did was, hey, well, we got the content. Let's go on and straighten it out a little bit. And a lot of people got hurt. I mean, most of us got demonetized for no reason. Yeah, you got to, you know, put in the review and you get remonetized. I do understand that. The bots were just picking everybody at random. Now, I can honestly say that for some strange reason, after I reached 1,000 videos, after I plateaued over 1,000, for some strange reason, my algorithm on my YouTube channel has changed. I don't know what it is, but it's changing. I just feel you see the views a lot more views. You see a lot more things. I'm starting to see my videos popping on the front page. So I don't know. I still don't get the views though. I'm not a preferred channel by no means, but I'm just saying I started seeing some difference at that reach. That's a lot of videos, by the way, that I put on this YouTube channel. But I do see that. I do see that. Shout out to everybody. Look, I want to say shout out to Ace. I see Ace in the building. Tells B is in the building. Let's see. Hello from Singapore. I cannot pronounce your name. I don't want to screw it up, and I don't want to. Shuka. Listen, I don't want y'all. One of y'all can take a shot at it. Shout out to George. Shout out for $25. George, you got the shout out. Go on and hit that super chat, sir. George, you got your shout out. Go on and hit that super chat in. Shout out to my man T in the building. He said on Earth, I see they kind of talking about a little bit between him and Ace. I see Tech Valor. She got some control going on in the space there. Yes. So shout out to everybody that's here. And look, thank you very much. Let's see. Shout out for, I said somebody say shout out for 5. I don't know whether or not that's euros.
I don't
think
that's a real name if you just say it how it looks.
Shook Mike Hook.
It's not really someone saying Mike, suck Mike Hawk.
Yeah.
That's what I
Hey, you just
get rid of the trolls.
You're trying hard to pronounce it correctly. The guy said suck Mike Hawk.
I just say it. Like, I mean, you don't have to, look, I mean, you go, I mean, at the end of the day, man, hey, it is what it is, man. We get trolls here all the time. We give them a little yard, but don't let them go over the top. You know what I'm saying? We get trolls. Don't get, look, we get trolls, but as long as they don't disrespect the channel, don't disrespect people, we allow the trolls in. Hey, no big deal, So that's, it's all good fun.
Yep.
And I got trust me, I got the mods in here. They feel that you're going a little too far. They go, so it's all good. Yes. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. Big House Production is in the building. Big House Production, yes. So all right, let's see. So at the end of the day, we just all having fun. All right, so let's talk about this. And first of all, before all right, so let's talk about this iPhone stuff, right? We got to talk about this iPhone stuff. And before we get into the iPhone, I want to make this statement. All right, I want to make this public announcement statement, right? I dropped a video 2 days ago. I did a funeral video for the iPhone 10, all right? And the funeral videos, if you watch my YouTube channel, I've done many funeral videos for the last 3 years. Plenty. I got a playlist that say funeral videos. Devices that got cut, devices that didn't work out, devices in period that didn't make the cut. Goes into a funeral video. Funeral videos on this YouTube channel is pure entertainment, folks. It's only a phone, all right? It's only entertainment. I say that to say that sometimes new people that watch my funeral videos that don't know the history of this YouTube channel, they go off the deep end. Like that's the very first video I ever post. That's the very first. I ain't post no other videos but that one video. So when I posted that video, people, the eye sheeps, went hard. Obviously, I knew they was coming. But I think what happened is a lot of people don't understand. Funeral, listen, it's a entertainment You watch the video. I'm in a 3-piece suit, for Christ's sakes, right? And I'm sitting up there and just having fun, right? And people get serious. You don't know what you're talking about. They will not cancel the iPhone. Well, we've heard that sales are not great for the iPhone, right? We heard a couple of days ago that a reliable source said that the iPhone, when the new version of the iPhone come out in the summer, the old version of the iPhone is going to get discontinued, right? Now, that's really no big deal. OnePlus been doing it for the last 2 years, all right? So OnePlus, every 6 months, they come out with a phone to discontinue a phone. Come out with a phone, discontinue a phone, right? So it's nothing new in the tech space, right? But when Apple does something, it's big because it's hype. It's like Walmart. Anything Walmart does, it make headlines. So I want to get y'all guys' thoughts about this iPhone 10 not making the cut. And in China, they like bigger phones. And the iPhone is too small. I don't know. We hear so many rumors. What y'all thoughts about that?
Okay,
go ahead.
Who first?
I think. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jay. Take it.
All right. So my thing is that with iPhone, I mean, we just had the announcement that Apple finally admitted that they slowed down older model phones because of the processing power wasn't able to handle the updates. So we have that issue. The big thing is with the iPhone 10, it wasn't received as well as Apple would have liked. There's a lot of flaws with the iPhone 10. There's a lot of security issues still with the iPhone 10. And seeing these mistakes, it's easier to discontinue it and put it to rest and innovate and do something different and really, really change it. And I think that's what's happening. I think that they made a mistake in a lot of areas, and they're like, that's what we have to do now. We have to basically discontinue this model and the way we made it and the changes and stuff. But I guarantee that the next model is going to have almost the exact same components. It's going to have the exact same chip and everything in it. They're just going to design it differently, and some things might change minor, but it's not going to be a whole lot.
Great.
Yeah, see, I think it's one of those that to just get back on track so that they have a plus version. And the 10 was a number thing to land on the 10th anniversary. I think it comes down to more like the 5 and the 5S. It was like the 5 was a bad black, or whatever the case was. Let's just go with the 4. The 5S is pretty much the same damn phone. Why are we going to keep the same model? I think they'll come out with an iPhone 11 and an 11 Plus, and then they'll just get rid of it. Nothing's going to change, except it's going to just maybe shrink the bezel. The little notch is going to shrink a little. But I think for the overall phone, I mean, I like the phone. I like just not having the home button and all that. I've used it for a while. I've always, as for being game changing, I just swapped it out because it was the next one in line, and I'm a tech channel now, so I feel like I should. But yeah, really, I don't think we're going to see nothing different on the 11, the iPhone, whatever they call it. There's just going to be an iPhone 11 and a Plus, and then some middle LCD version. So I think it's a way to just keep the same exact phone, give it a new number, because you can't have an iPhone 11 and a 10 that's identical because it doesn't make sense. It's just going to be the same phone. Well,
here's my thoughts on it, right? I think what Apple made with some huge mistakes here, right? The repairability of the phone. I think that's one of the things they're going to change. Instead of having all the components sitting on the back of the glass, they're going to have something separated. That means you can replace the glass for cheap instead of spending $600 on the replacement. I think that's going to. What you think?
Yeah, see, I don't think there's I bet there will be next to zero change. It's just to get the numbers back in line. It's not even. I almost guarantee you, it's just to get the thing in line. It's a model. It's a model number change. That's it.
I'm agreeing with Craig on that. As much as I mean, it wasn't a big game.
You don't like how much it costs, but they love it.
I mean, I have the phone too, but I don't think they're going to change much. It didn't sell like what they thought, but I still think that they're going to go to whatever they have. This is what they want. It's just a little bit of changes. And I don't see anything else other than numbers, just like Craig said. That's just probably going to be it. I feel like
did the MacBook Pro change? Where's your HDMI and your USB? Where's all that in June when the new model came out? Nothing. Everyone bitched and complained, and then June, the same body style came out with Skylight. Enjoy.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Nothing's going to change.
Oh, I'm curious. I really am. I'd like to see a change just for the sake, just.
But you know what? But I don't think about it is. Here's the thing that I'm thinking, right? So I don't have a problem with the iPhone 10, right? I know that people got repairability issues if you crack it or whatever. I mean, you're out of a lot of money, right? I do understand that. I don't know that if that Apple will change a lot, because all right, just think about this for a second. Let's put this in perspective. Low sales for Apple is still beating everybody else. I mean, you think about this. They're gonna sell. All right, so instead of us selling 70 million iPhones, we might sell 50 million. So that's lower than expectation. I do understand that, but we still beating everybody on the planet, right? I mean, is that the? I mean, they're still beating LG, right? They're beating the Pixel. I mean, they're beating. I mean, Samsung got 1,000 phones, so I don't know if they with that, but I mean. I mean, think about it, right? I mean, they still go.
But that's where. But some of it, though, too, Apple's kind of proven that, to me lately, they suck as a Generation 1 company, and you don't buy Generation 1 from Apple. So what's going to happen, like the MacBook Pro, I bought a new MacBook Pro. What you do is you wait for the next version to come out. Apple says, yes, we are staying this route. And then you go, okay, they're serious now. So I know Apple said they didn't change the batteries. They didn't do anything, but I don't trust them. I am sure there's more changes under the hood in the latest MacBook Pro than what came out in 2016. So they will fine tune what isn't right in the 10. And then people will see that that is the chosen choice. They're not going anywhere. It's a V2 product now. Now I'll buy. It's just, but I think they've lost a lot of people to version 1 flaws.
But wait a minute.
Watch is
doesn't the iPhone 10 become a collector's item at that point, right? I mean, all right, so if this phone get discontinued, right? Just like how OnePlus get discontinued. And this is so funny. You think about how OnePlus discontinued their phones. That the value of the OnePlus devices don't go down. Like it's like stays the same. This is like an LG G6, right? I mean, you can buy that phone. They'll give you milk and cookies, and they'll pay you to take the phone. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, you think about these two phones, right? This phone right here is a good phone, by the way. I like the LG G6. But the fair market value of the LG G6 is pennies compared to this. But if this get discontinued, right? Don't this become an instant collector's item?
It's because of what it's associated with, because of the anniversary and the special occasion that surrounded it. You've got a good story that goes with it. It's like if you ask yourself the iPhone 6 or the iPhone 7, would those be a collector's item? No, because they don't have any significant any story surrounding them of what their purpose was. They were just next models in line. Then you get the tone, and it's a complete redesign. So that's something new. And then you've got the reason why it was created and why it was named the iPhone 10 because of the anniversary. And that's what makes it a collectible. So I think in 10 years from now, if you still have one new in the box, you're going to see it on eBay and Amazon for $1,200, $1,300, maybe even more than that.
Oh, it's going to be way more than that.
You've got the story behind it too. You're like, this is the big anniversary. This is when they made their big change. This is when we got no home button and a full screen. And
can I do that with my Note 7?
Looking for it.
Can I do that with my Note 7? I wish that was a collector's item. It's just sitting in my pocket.
Note 7 is going to be a collector's item. You watch.
Yeah. Well, I've got two. I even told your wife that today, Mr. Catwoman. I've got two. They're both in the box, but yeah, that's still my favorite.
But no, you're right. The Note 7 is a collectible. I mean, it is, even though nobody won't put it on the network, but it is a collectible item. I believe it. I just believe that like the Note 7 is a collectible item. But I do believe that the iPhone 10 is going to be a collectible because in 10 years, I promise you, you're talking 1,100, 12. No. We talking thousands upon thousands. If you go to eBay, you look at the first, and I have the very first iPhone. I wish I would have kept it in the box. But the very first iPhone is high, expensive phone right now.
Yeah.
Right. The very first iPhone is a very expensive premium phone if you can get it in the box mint.
Yeah, but every year that it keeps going up. It's just going up in price.
Yeah.
But that's where if you look at the Apple, like the Apple IIc that sold, basically, if you're the last guy to hold on to your junk, you get a shitload of money for it. I mean, that's basically, if you don't, like if you don't hold on to it long enough, there's not the value in it.
Right. And to me,
call me the Fred Sanford of the tech world, then I'm holding on to everything.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I have the original, the very first Galaxy Note. I got the original, and I showed it a lot of times on the YouTube channel. I got the original Galaxy Note. I wish I had the freaking box. You know what? I think I do got the box. See, these things I be thinking about. Those original phones, you don't get rid of. You know what I'm saying? Just like with the Nexus 6. The Nexus 6 to me, I like it as a collectible because it was the first device that went to a larger size. The Nexus 6 is the only device that's a 6-inch phone with a 16:9 aspect ratio. All right. So I think that's a collectible too.
But you got a phone thing going on. You like
I know.
Like you're saying, I love my iPhone, but it's going back in the box and getting sent back to Apple for the new one when it comes out.
I've got a bad problem with any tech. I keep boxes for everything. My wife always asks me, but I keep everything with a box because for some reason I either think resale value or the fact that I'm putting it in a box and I open it. It's funny you said that about the Note today, Easy. I went out to my shed because I had to get some stuff to mail off to Catwoman because I have a whole lot of extra Note 7 stuff.
That, thank you for that so much.
Yeah, no problem. And the story behind that is when they discontinued it, of course, Sprint doesn't care. I can put that thing back on Sprint network in a heartbeat, which I do every now and again, change out the SIM card. But when they pulled back on that, all the accessories just went to nothing, next to nothing. You could pick them up for. So I had some that were sent to me to review. So I had double and triple everything. But I went out there and looked, and I found my actual box where I have some other stuff. And I found that Note, the Note 2, the 3, all still in the boxes. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm glad I keep stuff in boxes if I ever wanted to sell it. But the problem is I have a hard time.
Well, see, I'm the same way. I got all the Notes except the Note 4. And when I was doing the YouTube video, I did a D-brand skin video, and somebody gave me an offer that I couldn't refuse, and I sold my Note 4. Look. Let me tell you what's a collectible. The freaking Note Edge. That's a collectible. I have it. I'm never getting rid of the phone. Never. That's a collectible. The Note Edge.
Nobody could, unless the price was super right. And the funny thing about that one is I use that phone in between, even though the 5 came out and I eventually got it, I didn't use it like that. I kept the Edge because they took so much stuff away from the 5, expandable storage, blah, blah, blah. I literally used my Edge till the end, till the 7 came out, because to me, that was the reason we have the whole functionality of the Edge, all the Edge functions and things like that. But that Note Edge, sometimes even when I pull it out now, and it doesn't run bad on Wi-Fi to me, it doesn't run that slow. It's got the latest update that it got. I think it only got Nougat. But to run it now with not much on it, watching movies, that thing was just, it was just crazy to hold in your hand. That still is one of the top.
You're right. To me, I look at it like this. The original iPhone is a collectible. The iPhone 5 is a collectible. The reason why is because that was the first one that went into a 4-inch screen, right? That was the first one, right? Then the 5S probably collectible because it did not have a fingerprint scanner, right? That was the first device with a fingerprint scanner on the Apple side. The 5S had Siri, right? And it had the fingerprint scanner, I believe. I think I don't know if the 5 introduced Siri, but I know the 5S introduced the fingerprint scanner. That become a collectible item, in my opinion. Then you have the 6 become a collectible item. And the reason why, and there goes Siri talking to me right now, because it was a different form factor. So I look at this stuff like the 5, the 6. Now the 7 and the 7S, the 8, but the 10, the 5, and the 6 become instant collectible items. Craig, what you think?
I think that's about right. I mean, it's I don't know. I'm curious to see how it all plays out. You know, I mean, there's gonna be people. I mean, I think like I see clearly that you like phones. You like your phones. I mean, you do. If you got box, I mean, I keep boxes for all the stuff I buy. But yeah, I see you like your 10. I mean, yeah, I see we got some phone fans. No, but yeah, I mean, that's where you know each of those big milestones. But I don't know. I think we're. The 10, it'll be a collectible, but I don't think it's going to be that different next year. We'll see.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it like this. I look at because I love tech. I mean, obviously, y'all know. And I look at things like the first generation iPad. Oh, you got to be kidding me! I kept my iPad original, right? I mean, I got original generation iPad, the first one, the one that Steve Jobs walked across the stage and called it an iPad. That's iconic.
But that's a perfect example why I think people didn't buy the 10 though right now is looking at that iPad. That's generation 1, and look what generation 2 came out with. It was it's a form that we held on to for years. After that, we had 1 year with that first generation iPad that was like, and then if you bought that in December or January and then February the new one came out, it was like, here's my brick and here's my feather. You know, it's like.
No. Yeah, the iPad 2 did bring a big change.
That was huge. And I think a lot of that stuff.
Right. It was a huge change, right? Because the iPad original was a brick.
Yeah. But that's where like the Kindle, a lot of those things were. You know, but you needed them to get to where they are now. They were the first step. So you got to appreciate them.
This is how I think about the iPhone. I mean, the Galaxy S, right? That's first gen. Oh my God. I mean, everybody talking. I mean, to me, I look at it that I'm drooling over it because not only going to be freaking expensive, but it's going to be the first generation. Now, a lot of people are like easy. I don't know. I mean, the thing going to cost almost $2,000, $1,500. Think about it. They're going to be expensive. It's going to be for the elites. A lot of people ain't going to spend that type of money on this phone. But a lot of people will if you're
payment plans. A lot of people will now because of payment plans. Really change things.
Or their carrier providers.
Yep.
Yeah. And I say this, and I say this all the time. We got a lot of people get on these lease programs. That is, oh my God, because you got this, every time you get a new phone, you got to turn in your old phone, right? But if your old phone got cracks and broken screen or dents and whatever, you'll be paying for 2 phones. Because they ain't going to give you no credit for it. A lot of people don't understand this stuff with these lease programs and all that. iPhone forever, Samsung forever.
Yep.
Man, y'all got to read between the lines.
Not just that. When I actually am doing a video, I'm editing now to publish it. I was talking to Catwoman about it earlier, about just the investment. I mean, yeah, those lease programs, yes, they're great for people if they, want to, be able to jump to the next thing. But phones now, the way that they're priced, if people would just invest $30 to $40 into protecting your investment when you get it, you wouldn't even have to go through all that if that's what you're going to do every year to trade in your phone or keep them. And a lot of people don't do it. It irks me to see somebody walking out of a store or just getting a phone and they got it on Saturday and they're walking to the office. And yeah, it's beautiful. It's great, but it's all glass. Why are you not going to put something around it or something like you just know? Oh, I've never broken. When people tell me that all the time, I've never dropped a phone in my life. I've never broken a phone in my life. And then 2 days later, they're coming to me asking me, hey, you got a recommendation? Because I've already had to call Assurion and I've got to get my screen replaced. I was like, the recommendation was not to be an idiot when I told you before to go on Amazon and get something for your freaking phone. Because now you've just smashed it all to everything, and people just don't understand that. But yeah, just a little bit of investment.
This is why I'm a sucker for mid tiers.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you why. Because I don't listen. Think about this. Even if you did put it in the out of box for a year, right? They somehow, some way, they gonna find something wrong with that phone.
You know what though?
Something wrong with that phone.
I did try the Apple upgrade program, and for all of the things that Apple will not cover under Apple Care, they do not expect to cover. They don't expect those things to be. They have that same standard when returning a phone, as long as the display doesn't have a crack and it doesn't have any dents. It could be scratched up. You could have scratches on your screen. Basically, all the stuff they don't cover, they don't expect you to cover. So I do appreciate Apple for that. And you only pay for the Apple Care that you use. So if you buy it through a carrier, you got to buy your Apple Care outright, and you got to keep it to whatever perfection standard. Apple's like, hey, if it's scratched up, it's scratched up. It just can't have cracked display. It's got to power up, and it can't have a dent in it. Other than that, scratch it, make it look like hell. And I'm like, that's fair.
My daughter has iPhone for life, and that's the only time one phone that she upgraded, when she upgraded to her 6S Plus, her previous phone, she had a crack in the screen that she got from a nasty drop. Not a bad crack, but a crack. So yeah, it cost us, I think, probably like $40 to pay that. We had to actually come out of pocket on that one. But ever since then, the normal wear and tear that they expect on the phone, they cover that. Again, just the screen.
Are we kidding ourselves here? Are we kidding? I mean, think about it. For a year, paying what, $60 or $50 a month for a phone. Why we got the baby like it's a freaking like it's a newborn baby?
Yeah,
I just said that. I think we getting cost up here. I think we get to the point where we get to the we got to pacify our phone because it's all glass. In 12 or to 14 months from now, I want to trade it in. I mean, come on, man. We should be able to take our phones, case or no damn case, damn it, and do what the frick we want to do with our phones.
But you know what?
Damn right.
You got to do that same thing. You got to do the same thing whether you trade it in or you want to sell it, because no one wants to buy your phone unless it looks perfect. So, I mean, either way, if your idea is to get some kind of trade-in value, you got to baby the thing, which is kind of annoying.
We've asked for so much in these phones. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, man.
It's just like owning a car. If you buy a car and your plan is to put a certain amount of miles on it, and then you want to trade it up, you got to take care of it. And that's what you make that initial investment. And I got to give a shout out to T-Mobile because I'm on that program, because I sold my iPhone 6 that was having some issues on call clarity, which Apple was aware of, but you wanted to charge me money to fix it. And then T-Mobile had a promotion. I'll give you $300 for your phone, which was more than anybody else was going to give me for the iPhone 6. And then I could get the iPhone 7 Plus for no money down, and they were going to use that and give me that $300 for it. And now I just make monthly payments, and it's like $30 or something like that. And it's great. On top of that, you can pay an extra $10 a month, and then you get access to that upgrade program when the new iPhone comes out.
Yeah.
So, but going back to the protecting your phone, of course, yeah, that's great. You got glass and everything like that. You still need to protect it. That's $1,000 phone. So you're a fool if you don't. Right. So yes, I kept that iPhone 6 in pristine condition. They've used it for 3 years or 2 years since it came out, and kept a case on it. No issues with it. Went to T-Mobile. I was like, yeah, it's in perfect working condition. All right, we're going to give you $300 for it. That's what I wanted. So now I got the iPhone 7 Plus. I got my $300 for the phone, which was way less than what I paid for it, but I got something for it. Right. And so T-Mobile's got a great leasing plan. They work with you. They offer that extra $10 a month on what you're paying if you want to be able to have that priority jump if you need to. And basically what it is that you're making these payments to own this phone. Once you pay it off, it's yours. But if you jump in the middle of that, your payments start over. So it's basically like you rented the iPhone 7 Plus. Right. You want the 10. Yeah. So people need to know that's how it works. You're leasing it.
Yeah. You know, you leasing with the option to buy.
Right. Oh, go ahead, please. 10 minutes.
Yeah, but you got to protect your investment. You know, if you're not looking for something that you have to baby like you would your car, then like you were saying, a good option for a lot of those casual consumers is the mid-tier phones, the ones that come with a stronger body or a stronger case that's made out of that hardened material, like, you know, the plastics and stuff like that. It doesn't have such, you know, components that can break easily or something like that you have to worry about. You know, there's a lot of construction guys that I know that buy mid-tier phones because they're out on the rigs all day. They drop in their phones all the time, but they're comfortable with it. It does what they need them to do, and they're not worried about it. And I know some guys that do have an iPhone 10 that work out on the rigs and out at the oil fields, and they got it in an OtterBox lockdown, and they make good cases for these phones to help protect. But always get an insurance plan with your carrier or through Apple if that's who you're with, or through your carrier with any Android phone that you have. But protect your investment. Yes, you have to take care of it because it's just like a car, especially at these prices.
I have a question. I got a question for all of us on there. We all adults, right? Because the millennials, the teenagers, the teeny boppers, they're not putting no out of boxes on no iPhones, man. Mm-hmm. Let's make sure we understand this. The teenagers, most of them go rocket with a thin, something very thin, or maybe naked. All you got to do is walk in the mall or walk in any high school, and all you're going to see is iPhone, because the iPhones are everywhere. Mm-hmm. But I understand us adults, of course we can put it in the outer box. But for a millennial, an outer box is ugly. Why buy the freaking phone? I don't want an outer box. That's the words I get, right? So you don't get the outer box for the teenager, right? But they still listen. I bought my phone to Apple so many times to get maintenance done. But we talk about teenagers. When you talk about teenagers, it's a totally different aspect because they got different mindsets. Yeah, you got to get them a case and a glass screen protector, but they want something clear so they can show their
that's the problem that you have right there. You have these parents that are buying these $1,000 phones for these teenagers who don't know the responsibility that comes along with it. So the simple solution is you have to protect the phone.
I know, but the teenagers though, man, it's hard.
Don't get them the phone. That's the simple way. You're not going to get the phone if you can't take care of this investment. Then you buy it with your own money.
I'm gonna put it to you like this. I'm one of those guys that has that teenager and my daughter, and the only reason she has the phone she does is because the fact that she's shown that she can take care of things. So you say the cases, yeah, she does that. But she's got a mindset like me now. She understands because she's got OCD like me too. She doesn't like the minuscule scratch. She doesn't like any fingerprints. I mean, it gets like that with any phone that she had. So does she get cases? She has probably as many as I do, but she's looking for the ones too that look good, but still give me the protection that I want. She understands that. And that's because I've kind of taught her that about tech, and she understands. So she can take time to look and say, okay, this case gives me what I wanted. Or she gets it on Amazon, and when it comes in, she checks it. Oh no, it's not really covering my screen like I wanted it to, because I know what I'm going to be doing with this phone. And if it accidentally does that, but that's something that I've taught her. And I get what you're saying, Easy. It's the team, the kids now.
Man, I'm telling you. Look, we sit up there, we talk about this, man. If you got a 15, 16, 17-year-old man and die, so let's be real.
If they are, and that's the phone, and if they are like that, and they just happen to be Butterfingers and they can't do that, again, there's a phone for everybody. Yeah. So you don't get the iPhone 10, or you don't get the iPhone 8 or the S7 or the S8 Plus because you can't take care of a phone like that. Again, this goes back to, at the end of the day, still the phone. What does that teenager need that phone for? Now, again, if they just need that phone to do the basics of the Facebook, what they do in their life, technically any phone will handle what they want to do with that. It doesn't have to be the iPhone 8 or the Samsung S8. They can go out and get a J5 or LG Stylo 3, great phone, but they can get a mid-tier phone. But again,
wait. 10 minutes. Hold on, wait a minute. Stop. Time out. You really think that a 16, 17-year-old in high school go roll around with a Stylo 3?
I'm saying as a parent, if I'm buying it, I'm saying if they have no choice, but I have to buy it, and they're one of those kids that doesn't like it, they have to just take what they get.
Exactly. And I can guarantee that there's kids in high school that are rolling with the J5 Prime or whatever, the $100 phones. I guarantee you walk into any high school, you'll find
they do
40, 50 kids that have got those low-end phones. just because either family issues or because they can't take care of their stuff,
Exactly.
or whatever. So they're not going to feel like, oh, I'm the minority because I can't afford an iPhone 10. No, they're just going to be happy that they got a phone and they can do what they want.
I can hit you on Snapchat. I can get you on Instagram. That's all they care about. My daughter's best friend used to have an iPhone 6. She has Butterfingers. She broke the phone. Her dad, who is a techie too, said, you know what? You can't do that. This is the phone I'm giving you. And to her, rolling from an iPhone 6 to a Samsung Galaxy S5 was, oh my God, her world collapsed. Guess what? She broke that phone too. So as she goes down, again, some of these kids don't care as long as they can use, if they can connect with their other friends on that phone. A lot of times they don't care.
So with the problem is they can't connect with their friends because they don't have iMessage.
But you know what? How you treat your phone, it comes back to your parents.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really
all about your upbringing and how you up your children.
Because you look at the people with the broken
stuff.
Yeah, the people with the broken screens, they learned that from mom and dad too. I mean, really, some of it, it's like, you know, my daughter, she's gonna have a case on when she eventually gets a phone.
Exactly.
Oh, you don't have a phone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Look, I like to play devil's advocate.
Yeah, I got you.
You know, and then for them kids that get an attitude, you know, I'd be like, you know what? I'll give you the first phone that I had, which was a Nokia. Okay, I had an old Nokia with a snake game on it. So you want to pop an attitude, you can rock that.
Yeah,
that's what I'm telling them.
Attitude.
I'm gonna go to
catch some
house and
attitude.
pick it up.
I've just been different with my kid only because of what she's really involved in a lot of stuff. And when she got into the iPhone world, so to speak, she really took care of that phone. A lot of people looked at us crazy when we got her one, but she appreciated it. You know, she does a lot of stuff.
You know
But
what?
for her,
Most millennials will take care of their iPhones because it's a status symbol.
Yeah, but for her, she appreciated it. Yeah, she appreciated it, and then we just kind of went with it from there. But again, she also knows about the whole. I get what you're saying, kids. That's what they want, but it's you have to. Sometimes at the end of the day, I've got friends too. It's what they get, and as parents, if I allow her to get that, or if I didn't allow her to get that, and she got the phone I gave her, or we purchased for her, that's what she'd have to get. It always is going to come down to us as the parents.
Let's be real here. An iPhone SE don't cost up $150. That'd be $100. That's way cheaper than most phones out there. So there's a cheap phone out there. I mean, you can get an iPhone 6S for cheap. I mean, iPhones are cheap now. You can get cheap iPhone. Shout out to Everyday Tech, my man, Everyday Tech. Right? He has he just sent me a super chat. So somebody just hit me up. Shout out to Elba. Elba says my stream has hit 144p. All right, so give me a thumbs up, guys, if everything looked good. All right, because somebody just hit me up and say that the chat just hit 144p. I don't know. I'm not looking at the chat. Somebody look at the chat and let me know if the resolution has dropped. Because somebody said the resolution.
I'm still seeing 720p on my end.
All right, 720p is what we stream at. Yeah, 720p is good. Sound like you guys on the stream only.
A game changer coming into the realm, and Huawei has been around for a long time, and you're going to start seeing a lot of more people start using the Huawei phones with the breakthrough in technology and the partnerships that they're coming out with.
I agree.
This newcomer coming in that has been under the radar for a while, that a lot of it's always been about the big name brand, the big Apple, Samsung, LG. At the end of that, now Huawei's coming in and they're like, we coming in bringing the big guns. So now it's like, and they're offering low end, mid, and high end phones. So I can't wait to see all the stuff that they're pushing out right now that they're working on, because they got some good stuff.
But wait a minute, let's talk about Huawei, right? And we talked about this on a couple of streams. Let's talk about Huawei for a second. Do you really think that an average consumer will walk into AT&T store and buy a Huawei device? When you have, just say the Mate 10, well, they're not selling it, but let's go to Best Buy there, because you have to buy the phone straight up. You got a Mate 9 for $499. You got a Mate 10 for $800+. Then you got a Galaxy S8 that you could probably buy for $700 or $600. Would the average consumer skip over a Galaxy phone or an iPhone to buy a Mate 10?
Actually, they might. I think they might. The only reason why I said they might is because it depends on if the salesperson is informative or not. You know, if the salesperson is really informative on the phone and can sell
let me ask you this question. Well, you got an LG G6, that's $300.
Yeah, but what it comes down to, and I don't mean to cut you off, but it's real simple. First of all, you got to know your budget. Then you got to find out what phones are in your budget. Then you go look, okay, I've got $800 to spend. I got Huawei, I've got iPhone, I got Samsung, I got LG, I got all these competitors. What it comes down to is finding what you want. If that Huawei phone does what you want and it looks good, has, you know, like for me, if I saw a Huawei phone that was bezel to bezel edge, had, you know, a clean UI and a great system, it was fast, and I saw that compared to an iPhone and a Samsung, and it was the look and the style I wanted and did what I wanted, I'd buy that. To me, and I think to every consumer, it's if you find a product that does exactly what you want it to do and looks like you want it to look. And I think that's what they'll go for.
I'm playing devil's advocate here. How do the average consumer know about a Huawei phone when they never had one before?
You got to do your research.
I know, but the average consumer ain't doing no research.
Yep.
They know about Samsung devices. They know about Apple. They know about LG.
What do your friends have? What do your parents have? That's what it comes down to.
Right. That's going to be the question.
But it's like technology.
Go ahead. Okay,
it's like
marketing. That's what it does. It takes marketing on Huawei's end, putting the devices in the hands of these YouTubers, getting it on social media, putting it out there to get people talking about it. Then people start picking it up. You get a big press conference about it. It starts hitting the shelves. Then you start seeing more people invest their money into it and getting these phones. And that's how you build the brand. That's how you start getting that status like Apple and iPhone.
I'm playing devil's advocate here. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. The big YouTubers go get it. They already got it. They already made videos about it. No smaller YouTubers ain't get review units. So that's gonna be one thing. All right. No smaller YouTubers ain't doing the Mate 10 because we haven't got no access to it right now. But the big YouTubers got it. It takes a lot more than MKBHD and Android Authority to make videos about the Mate 10 for the millions upon millions upon millions of consumers to buy into that unknown product, unproven and unknown product, because it's unknown because nobody don't have it. It's unproven because unless you're a techie, you know about that. Everybody make pretty commercials. Oh, this is the best thing on the planet. Oh, this is, but at the end of the day, is it better than my Galaxy S8? That's the point. That's how people go look at it. Because it's expensive. It's an $800+ phone. Would I buy a Mate 10 over the Galaxy S9? That's the point. Now, if Huawei come out with the Mate 10 at a $600, $500 price point, and like you're all saying, come up with commercials and all kinds of stuff like that, then maybe we might have some. Because I can tell you, I got an Honor 8, and I put out the Honor, they love it. The first thing they ask, is it a Samsung or is it Apple? Is that a new phone by Samsung? Right? No, it's an Honor 8. What the hell is an Honor 8? Huawei it's the new number 2 company on the planet. But in the United States, they're not. There's nothing in the United States. Nobody in the United States go buy a Huawei phone. Nobody, unless you're a techie. Now, it's going to be very difficult for Huawei to spend millions upon millions of dollars on marketing to try to get. They'll have to give away phones. They have to drop the price, and they have to get it in people's hands. And then maybe the Mate 10, maybe the Mate 11 might be the phone.
Well, you have to get it into the right hands, I think, is a big part. You get that into the right person.
Right.
You get with the audience. That could be the game changer. And they start their own thing, tie an app to it, and make it. I mean, it's just going to be the right deal. Could change it overnight. I'm not overnight, but it can change it very quickly with the right deal. But until they have that, you just got to think 13 to 16-year-old girls. They're never going to buy that.
The phone got to be pink. First of all, Samsung do it right. Apple do it right. They got pink phones. You got to see. They need something for the female base. Let me tell you something. I cringe when I see like Razer phones and stuff like that. And guess what? LG got the memo. They got the pink phone. They came out with the V30 rose gold or rose pink, right? They for Valentine's Day. But guess what? They ain't gonna release the damn phone in the US. That to me, you got to cater to the female. Because we techies, of course, we buy the manly phone, the gold, the silver, the black. But what about the pink phone? Samsung released a Galaxy Note 8 in pink, right? This Apple got rose gold, right? That's the pink phone. All these other phones come out, they're manly phones, man. Like, they're manly phones. We forgot about the bigger percentage of females that buy phones every year. Yeah. And I think they forget about that. And I think that's what happened with Huawei. Huawei is a beautiful phone for a techie, right? Now, don't get me wrong. Now, you talk about big YouTubers, you got to think about Mr. Mobile. He just slammed the software. His software is like, and the price. On his video, he slammed it. So.
Yeah, it's going to take, just like you said, it's going to take the marketing if they can do that. But just like Tech Valor said earlier, the salespeople, whoever these guys go to try to sell that. I think I mentioned it last week in our stream. How the four major carriers have to sell their phones in the stores. If that Huawei phone was in all four, if there was a push for those salespeople to move that phone, oh yeah, they probably try to sell it and get it out there if there was a push. But again, if it's not, there's a phone for everybody. And if those salespeople, marketing, if they were to say, okay, what are you looking for it to do? Oh, well, here's a great phone for the price for you, but it's going to take a whole lot more for them.
Right. So let's do a poll in the comments, because the techies in the comments. I want all these people in the comments, think about being an average consumer. Would you walk in Best Buy tomorrow and spend $850 on a Mate 10 today? Would you do that? I want to see yes or no comments, and I don't want to hear that crap about I'm a techie and all that stuff. I'm talking about an average consumer. Would you pull out your credit card tomorrow and go to a Best Buy and spend $850+ on a Mate 10? That's the poll. We're gonna do this in the comments. I want to see.
But see, here was my thing. My thing is I haven't seen anything from Huawei that has blown me away. Now I've seen the things that they're working on. Now, what I was saying was, if they made a phone that was just as good, if not a little better than what was currently on the market for Samsung and iPhone, I'm talking about right there, spec for spec, if not exactly the same, and stylish, and you walked into the store to buy it, and it did all the same stuff that you wanted it to do, and it performed exactly like all the other phones. So they're all got their different bells and whistles, but they all are good phones. And that's what I'm saying. If Huawei came out with that and put it on the market, and then you're in there, and of course, when you're talking to the Best Buy guys, you know that brand loyalty plays a part of people's personal preferences, and that's going to change whether you push an iPhone or whether you push a Samsung.
Exactly.
I've walked into stores, and the guy's telling somebody walk in, I don't know nothing about phones. What's the best phone I can buy? Man, let me tell you all about the Samsung. You know. And then the other guy's like, let me tell you all about the iPhone. You got to find that unbiased person that'll tell you all the good features from every perspective.
But you know what? They won't do it. I'm going to tell you why they won't do it. Because
I know that,
It's commission. They can't sell a Mate 10, but they can sell an iPhone. See, that's the thing. They can sell a Samsung phone because Samsung will buy one, get one free. That's commission. But how you going to sit there for 45 minutes and try to sell a Mate 10? Yep. Oh, well, yeah, this is a great phone. It got AI. Average consumer, I don't hear all that crap. Does it take? I mean, give me a Samsung.
I mentioned it. I mentioned it last week when I told you about our new CTO that's in with it. He said it. They have to push those phones. And when they hear somebody, it's just like he said previously, somebody coming in, I don't know what I want because they haven't done their review. Oh man, those guys are salivating. They were like, okay, I can put anything in this person's hand.
I can tell you the highest thing and then upsell you right after.
I can give you whatever I want to give you before you walk out the door, because at the end of the day too, they don't care that you walk out and they got that sale, they got that money. That's all they care about.
And see, that's
what's
why
the quick sale? What's the quick sale? The quick sale. Let me tell you. When you got when you go to AT&T and they got a house full of people, what do you think will be the quick sale?
iPhone.
They'll spend an hour on trying to sell you. Right.
And
that's how you got to think about it as a salesperson. Well, even if they unbiased and they got a house full of people and they try to sell because they're trying to make money, and you look, they got incentives in these OEMs, right?
Yeah.
If you sell more iPhones, you get a bonus, right? So they got incentives. Do you sell more Galaxy S8s? Buy one, get one because they want that money for that extra line, right? You get a bonus. They ain't gonna give you no bonus for those Mate 10.
And see, this is why we have such a big responsibility in the tech community on YouTube.
Right.
We want to get average consumers on YouTube looking up these phones, and it's our responsibilities to put the right information and be unbiased to let people know informative information so they can make a valid decision based on their needs. That's our responsibility as tech people on YouTube, and we need to get more average consumers to know you can come to YouTube and look it up and watch different videos and watch reviews and watch what people talk about. Because you're right, we might be small YouTubers that don't get our hands on the device, but doesn't mean that we haven't spent that time researching it, watching the videos, watching the keynotes, talking with other people in the community about what they know, and have a collective, information about it. And then when the phone comes out, even if you have it, other people are still coming to that video after the phone's released, wanting to know about it. So it's our responsibility to eliminate that person at the sales desk.
I agree with you. 100%. I'm playing devil's advocate tonight because I look at the average consumer that walks into AT&T. Well, that salesperson that got different devices, got a whole lot of phones in AT&T and T-Mobile. Phones ready to go. But they thinking about that quick sale because guess what? At the end of the day, if they got $150, they can buy an iPhone and they gone in 10, 15 minutes. But you got to sit there and you have to do some work. You have to work to sell a phone that's like a Mate 10. You got to work. You got to tell them about it. And the first thing I say, well, damn, I ain't never heard that phone before. What is that phone? Why is that phone $900? I mean, that phone $850. So you mean tell me I'm gonna pay an EIP $50 a month for a Huawei phone, and I gotta pay an EIP for iPhone 10 or iPhone 8. What you think the average consumer gonna do here?
Again, you say that about the average consumer, but that's, again, like he said before, that's why we're here. Because again, we want to make sure that they know. That's the thing that I'm hoping to, like I said, the video that I'm putting together, one of the other ones, you're more prepared when you go into that store, just as if you were, I hate to say it, but you almost have to be ready to buy. When you go get ready to get your new phone, it's almost just like you're going in to get that car. You want to do your research so that when you go in there, you get what you came to get, and they didn't just put something on you that you didn't want. And if you do research, let me
ask you a question, Tim, in the tech. If you go to a car lot, right, and you got Ford, Chevy, right? Ford and Chevy. That's your big Ford, Chevy, Toyota. That's your big three. And you got a salesman trying to sell you some unknown brand vehicle. Would you buy it?
See, I think the thing that isn't factored in, that we're not factoring in, that I think with a lot of people, average consumers, you want to be able to just ask your friends or whatever, be able to collaborate and be able to get it to work or answer questions. And that's where, you could be the salesperson who goes, here, this is why this is brilliant to the average person. But in reality, you're probably wasting your time. The best question would be, what do your friends have? because you're probably going to want in that same zone, just as people who drive BMWs hang around with other people that may drive that same kind of class of car. So to fight an uphill battle to sell a better product, I don't know if there's the upside for a salesperson, unless you have someone who's a true tech person who came in going, I want something that's cool. Tell me what's really with this. But for most people, I just got to go back to the average person who just wants to be able to for it to work and move on with their day, and the nuts and bolts and education gets in the way. You know?
Yeah, Craig, I think you're right. But everyone is comparing a phone to a car now. Now, here's the thing. 50, 60 years ago, cars were selling off the lot for like $800, brand spanking new. You know what I mean? You could buy a brand spanking new 1969 Ford Mustang for like $1,700-1,800 off the bat, you know.
Not no more.
Not no more. But you could have back then. But here's the thing. I got a partner. If you guys don't know, I'm a truck driver, and I got my partner. My partner is 70 years old. He was telling me that every other year he was buying a brand new car because he was foolish and stupid. Plus, he had the money to do so. Now we're looking at the same thing with phones. Phones now are between $800 and $1,000. The average consumer is not going to care what the specs are. They're just going to know it's $1,000. I'm going to buy it for $1,000. Once phones get to about $1,500 to $1,800 within the next 2 to 3 years,
that's when people are going to care.
That's when people are going to care, and that's when people are actually, the average consumer is actually going to do their research, like how they do their research now with cars. Yeah. Because if you notice now with cars, people are now actually going, you know, back in the day, it's the big three: Ford, Chevy, and what was it? Ford, Chevy, Dodge, and
Toyota.
And Toyota. Well, Toyota just came up in the last 15 years.
Right.
But now people are looking at Hyundai. Who the hell would have bought Hyundai 20 years ago, except for that fool out in California?
But I think with that,
the new Hyundai.
But I think they came in, they pushed hard, like Hyundai. They pushed hard, said, "Here's a great warranty. Here's enough reasons to change your mind."
But it took them 20 years, though.
Yeah, it did.
About 20, 30 years though. Yeah.
But in the tech world, phones, you can't take 20 years. Huawei don't have 20 years of
No, but you got to give it away to everybody. You got to just give it away, and you got to show that, hey.
That's the thing. So
I want to get in. I have something to say. Like, okay, I'm sorry to interrupt y'all, but I said this in the chat. Don't underestimate the power of the no name, because I remember the Vizio TVs. They were not a trusted brand. They just came out of nowhere, and people were just buying them. Why? Because it was cheap and it was doing just as good as the other ones. Yeah.
Good partnership though too. They definitely put themselves in Costco. It's placement.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it's a good point.
Not scared of the Huawei, you better think again. You think Samsung does not meddle in other people's affairs? Think twice, because I know firsthand with the whole thing that happened with the Note 7, they get their hands deep in it. How they were telling Google to tell those developers to take those apps off there from blocking the update. Oh my God. I'm telling you, Huawei is going to be a force to reckon with once they get in and they get all of their phones out there. Because from what I've been seeing, like videos and stuff like that, what Kimmy tells me, that phone.
Shout out to Scrumptious.
Yo, Scrumptious.
Yeah. I just got mine. I got mine a week ago. That Mate 10 is the equivalent. It is unreal how that phone runs. It really is. And I love my Note 8, but that Mate 10 is ridiculous.
Yeah, but AT&T scrapped the program though.
Yeah, of course they did, because they're getting pressure from Samsung. And well, they say the government. No. In a weirder way, I do. Like I said before, this is like a telenovela. Okay.
Hey, hold on. Wait. Stop. Wait, he needed another drink. Hold on. Now, you know, on Wine Wednesday, the guys always fix the ladies' drinks. All right, the man, he's sucking up ice.
I gotta get That's one way to get me in. Thank you.
But I do understand what you're saying. I agree. Me as a smart person that love technology, that read the phone stuff before I go buy it, I do agree with you, but we go back to this circle. If AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, and Sprint say you could get this phone for free, all you got to do is just add a line. That word "free" will sell itself.
Yep.
Now they ain't selling no free Huawei Mate 10s. They're selling the Galaxy S8 or iPhone 8. And I know us as techies, and this is why I make a lot of videos about this. We educate people. We do. We make all these educational videos. I think what it is. This is why I talk about mid-tier phones. I believe mid-tier phones go dominate 2018 because they're $250 phones. It's going to rock because you can walk in and get your $250 phone, and it does almost exactly the same thing as $1,000 phone. Now, yeah, you ain't gonna get the fancy this and the fancy that, but at the end of the day, I do agree. I'm playing devil's advocate. That's all I'm doing. But I do agree as far as average consumer, because I got family members call me all the time. They say, "Oh, I'm due for an upgrade. Should I get the iPhone 8?" And I'm like, "What you got right now?" I got the iPhone 7. I mean, why would I tell anybody that's already rocking an iPhone to get a Mate 10? I mean, you kind of do some people some disservices if even though you're a techie and you tell an average consumer that they've been rocking with either just say they've been rocking a Galaxy S5 and they're ready to upgrade. You're not going to tell them to get a Mate 10. You're going to tell them to get the Galaxy S8. Right? I mean, it
depends, though. It depends. I've got friends that have asked me that have been iPhone users that have, when the Samsung Galaxy S7 came out and stuff. And my first question is always, what is keeping you with Apple? If you're looking to upgrade your phone, what do you want to do on it? Why are you sticking with Apple? What is it that you need? Either you like how the operating system is? Do you like how you can use iMessage or something? Is it these things? Some of my friends say, yeah, I like the UI system, the operating system with Apple. I want to stick with that. Cool. The other person's like, nah, I don't really care, and I'm like, okay, well then what do you want to do on it? Then they tell me what they want to do, and I tell them about the phones that do what they want. Right. When anybody asks me, like my family or friends say, I got this phone and I want to upgrade, my first question is always, what are you looking for? And are you stuck on that device? And if they're like, no, not really, I could just go for anything. I just want something good and something that's going to last. And, and that's basically what a lot of average consumers really want. I want to invest my money into something, but I'm going to get a return on investment. I want it to last a good long time, and I want it to do exactly what I need it to do. So you just help them with that.
Yeah. And that's the thing. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you talk about, okay, when the buddy girls come in and say, okay, I got a Galaxy S5, old school, because it's 2 years, 3 years, so they've been rocking the old phone, and it's no more updates, and it's on this last limb. And you say, okay, what you want to do with the phone? And I always ask, how much you want to spend? And the question is, I don't want to spend shit. So it ain't nobody want to spend no money. And I can't sell nobody $1,000 phone upfront money if they don't want to spend no money. I don't know I haven't heard anybody tell me they want to spend $1,000 on a phone. Ain't nobody want to spend $1,000.
Yeah, nobody wants to spend it,
but they can spend $100 on the contract and spend $20 a month.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're not losing all that money up front.
Exactly. But when you go to a Best Buy and you want, let's say you see that nice, pretty Mate 10 sitting up there, and you see an $850 price tag on it, and that's a hard sell. I would do it, right? But I just think about my auntie, my sister, a friend of mine, or something. I could walk up into a Best Buy and say, man, this is the best phone you need to buy. They'll buy it, and 2 months later they curse me out. Say, hey man, I call that, man. Phone does. I get on Snapchat and Facebook with any phone.
My thing is what I try to tell people who are average consumers is don't go to these stores asking the retail employees what they should be getting, because at every Walmart, Target, Best Buy, any place that I've been around locally and outside of my local area, they don't know nothing. They might know a little bit of this and this and what everybody knows, but they don't know anything. So my recommendation to everybody is either come talk to me or look online.
Yep.
That's it, because you can't trust nobody.
Yeah, I like to play dumb when I go into some of them that don't know me in this area, and I go in and they start talking. I'm like, oh, I'm just looking, and then they start telling me stuff about phones, and then I ask them questions, and they don't even know, and then I just go in and start rattling off stuff, and then they look at me like, oh, okay, and then somebody in there may ask, and then I'm like, okay, these guys don't even know what they're doing. They're just trying to push anything.
And it's their job too. That's what I like in Target. They have a person that stands there at the phones. Then that's just their job, is to sell those phones. And you start to ask them questions about certain phones, and they don't know it. It's like, isn't that your job? Like, you're supposed to know about these devices.
You had
can't
one
even tell me
job,
how much memory it has.
You had one job, man.
Exactly. You got one job. You can't even do that.
One job. You can't even do that. Yeah. Again, I hate that, and that's where I've seen it on most of everybody else's channels. And me, I want to guide people again. It always comes back to the bottom line. And everybody mentioned it. Craig mentioned it. What do you want the phone to do? What is it for you? Okay, this phone would be okay for you to do what you need to do. That's what I think. And just go with that, because again, we all
depends. The cameras. Everybody like to take pictures.
Most people want. They want to take pictures.
They're going to take pictures. Now, when it comes down to cameras, you do got a big divide.
Yeah, that is true.
Your average consumer, though, you know, like Auntie and like my mom and stuff going into the. We don't care about it. They want a decent camera. But they don't they don't care.
Yeah, if it's decent and they can hold it still enough, and they don't have shit, you know, and they can take a good picture, that's all they care about. They ain't trying to be portrait mode. They ain't trying to be bokeh effect and all that stuff.
Let me ask you a question. Do you recommend any other phone, like an iPhone SE for $150 for grandma and mama?
I recommended the iPhone SE for my stepdad, and because he likes a small phone and he wants a simple UI to do what he wants to do, so he can navigate easily, and he wants something that fits in his shirt pocket. So I said the iPhone SE is in your budget range.
I mean,
it does everything you want to do.
Software, right? I mean, for $150, it's running iOS 11.2.3 or whatever, right there. I mean, it's $150 for Christ's sake, and it's small. It runs fast. Great cameras on the damn thing. I mean, one of the best cameras. I mean, look, I got an iPhone SE. And I mean, when I look at the cameras on it, I'm like, damn, I mean, that's 2018 standard. You know what I mean? You think about that, right, Craig?
Yeah. I mean, that's I think that's the biggest push, though, for anybody that I know when recommending a phone. I mean, it's just camera. I mean, my wife, she has an 8 Plus just for the camera at this point, you know?
That's the big reason why I got the 7 Plus is that 4K video. Because whenever I'm not doing my streaming and stuff for my gaming and everything, when I film videos of product reviews or whatnot, I use that 4K camera.
Yeah.
And that's the big reason why I went up from the 6 and didn't go to Samsung, because I've seen Samsung's got a good camera as well, but I've seen minor differences that work better for me. And plus, I like iPhone's UI. I like their operating system, so I stuck with that, and I wanted it for the 4K camera.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out. This is the best. This is one of the best mid-tier phones I've ever used or even had.
What is that?
This is the ZTE Blade. Is this the Blade Max? Yeah, the Z Max. No, it's the Z Max. It's the Z Max. The Blade Z Max.
Yeah.
And I haven't used it in about a month, but because I'm gonna use it as one of the giveaway phones on my channel. But I passed it to a couple of people older just to see what they thought of it. It fit what they wanted. Older people, and I'm talking demographic of 45 to 60, to where they wanted a phone that was big so they could see the screen, view media content, the camera was decent, and that's all that they wanted. That didn't blow their minds like anything else.
You gotta think about it like this: your Metro PCS, your Boost Mobile, those OEMs carriers is in the hood, right? You see a Metro PCS and Boost Mobile's all in the hood. Every time I go in the hood, every corner got a Boost Mobile store, right? They sell is CTE phones. That's all they sell, right? And you get it for cheap. They give you damn near unlimited data. You get the phone for free, You get the phone for free, right?
Yep.
And I mean so that's why ZTE is that mid-tier device that like the Z Max Pros and all that stuff like that, because it's cheap, right? I mean, when you talk about free, cheap in the hood, that's I see a lot of those phones because they're good. They make a lot of big phones.
Yep.
Except the butterfly phone. I mean, ain't nobody buying that.
Want that.
But I mean, you got the cheap phone, the very cheap phone. You go to Boost Mobile or Metro PCS and say, I want a phone. All right, I got a ZTE Max, Z Max Pro for free. All you gotta do is, get you the data or get this program or whatever. And people buy it. And they got a lot of accessories for it. Because I see nothing but accessories for ZTE phones. So I think in the hood, just being honest, I'm in Louisiana, I see them all over the place, right? Because in the hood, that's all you see is ZTE phones.
Yeah, see, they're out here in Texas too, where I'm at. And the only downside is out here, I know a big thing all in the Houston area is that the Boost Mobile service and the Metro PCS service is not all that great or reliable. Right. And the packages are actually expensive, more expensive than a package from T-Mobile, which $50 a month from T-Mobile, get you your line. If you have your phone, you can bring it in if it's on that network. I always tell people don't go to the Boost Mobile in Metro PCS because of the service. You might be able to get a decent phone for cheap, but the service sucks. You're not going to be able to do everything that you want to do because we all want to do the happening stuff right now. So I say spend that $50, $60 at T-Mobile on and get your little prepaid account or whatever it is. Because that's what I rocked for the longest time since I was on Singular Wireless back in 2006 when I joined the Army. And then when Singular went out and it was AT&T, and then I went to T-Mobile and they had that $50 unlimited plan. And I had that for years.
Yeah.
And so I recommend people get on that $50 T-Mobile plan and get you a phone off of Amazon, eBay, Walmart, get those $100 phones, start somewhere. But then again, you're really going to get that unlimited data and you're going to have good coverage. So
and
that's what I recommend.
And those metros and stuff, it always is going to depend on where you're at. If it's T-Mobile, metros usually, depending on where it's at, it's T-Mobile network that they're using, the T-Mobile towers. That coverage is just going to be whatever coverage you're getting in that area because, where I'm at, a lot of people like Metro, but I've seen Metros, you said in the hood. I've seen them in the hood, but I see them everywhere. I saw my first C Spire store this past weekend. I've never seen I see all the commercials. I never saw a C Spire store where you could go in there and get phones. I didn't get a chance to go in there, but that was the first time I saw one. But I mean, they are everywhere and they're trying to be competitive, but I mean, the phones are okay. I mean,
somebody say that they do got Galaxy phones in it. They do. They say like the Galaxy is, and they got the LG phones in it, right? They got the LG KY jelly phone.
But they cost a lot more. Those phones on those plans aren't like the normal ZTE phone. I mean, they may have they have that certain package of phones in all of those places where they say they're $29 or $69 with a port in or whatever. But those bigger tier phones, like your S7, you either have to pay the price or they'll do that financing. But I would never recommend anybody financing an S7 or an iPhone through a Metro, through anybody, because I've seen what that contract looks like. Oh man, that's worse than a payday loan. Yeah, that's worse than a payday loan. Trying to pay that back, what you have to pay on that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
I mean, think about it like this: if you finance an iPhone 6. I mean, they go charge you about $800, $900 for it. I mean, you can buy one off, Amazon for about $300. So they go double and triple you. But I think what a lot of people get sucked in again, non-educational people that don't know about technology, that will walk into a store and they say, "Okay, give me $20, but you go pay $40 for the next 3 years." You know what I'm saying? So that's how they get them. You know what I'm saying? I think that's how that works.
Yeah. Well, it's a shame though that so many of those things. I hate the fact hate how the game changed to all these payment plans, but I think it's because everybody wanted to have more than they can afford. And I mean, I take advantage of the Apple one in the sense of like, okay, you want to do a 0% interest loan. You're going to take all of the upfront cost and I'll just pay it off. And then after 1 year, I'll decide if I like this phone or give it back to you and do it again. I know I'm taking a loss, but I also don't have to meet anybody that I met on Craigslist or anywhere else to sell my phone. So right. I'll take that $150 loss or $100 loss for the year. But yeah, I mean, I hated that that's how the game changed, that we went to the rented system, because then subsidies went away, phones became $1,000 and it didn't matter because people will pay $30 a month. So you know, it's like, wow, phones, it used to cost me $200 for an iPhone. Yes, it was subsidized and I was on contract, but I felt like I was paying the same price as I was now, except I didn't have to fork out $1,000 up front.
Right. And a lot of people, you know, especially your average consumers, don't have that kind of money to throw out up front. They're like, I need a good phone, and I get the payments in for my job, and I work, you know, full time, but I work at Walmart or something. And I can't afford all this up front because I got bills and I got kids. Yep. But I can do the extra $20. I can afford that every month from my paycheck.
That's where I think, though, there's no reason in this day and age where unemployment is right now. You say mid-tier phones and stuff. I'm like, people are living well. Not everybody. I mean, even not well in this country is pretty good by a lot of standards. That you can go get a phone that, for all rights, you should not be carrying around in your pocket because you can't afford. If you cannot afford to just, you know, fix that thing if it was destroyed and pay it outright, should you really be carrying it around? But where people have jobs, everyone's working, you know, and it's comfortable. You're like, hey, I'm going to spend $40 a month. I'm going to own an iPhone. Why am I going to spend $36 and own a brand I never heard of before? I'm going to get the $1,000 best phone I can, be cool like all my friends, because they all have Samsungs or iPhones. And, you know, it's $40 instead of $32 or whatever the case is. But I think everybody's very comfortable now. So that's why, you know, kids
they're comfortable owing somebody money. That's what it is.
Yeah, they owe money, but
owing a debt to somebody. And if I don't pay it off, I guess I'm just in debt. And that's a bad mentality to have. But unless you can actually pay it off, like you got a good job and you can afford it, then hey, that's cool. If you don't want to pay it up front. But like then again, you got those people who get it and don't need it.
I mean, I live in LA. If I see one more BMW 328i, I mean, it's like the douche. They're a dime a dozen. They're the cheapest BMW you're gonna find that everybody's leasing. It's like, you're not fucking cool. Right? You got the $299 BMW, big deal. You know, if any, you know, it's like, wow, okay, so
it's like you're running into a party and they had this one suit that was on sale, and then everybody's got that one suit because nobody can afford a higher end suit. And they're running at the gates and they're like, hey, look at me. And then they all turn around and they're all wearing the same thing. It's like, you're not cool, bro.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's a very comfortable time right now for a lot of people. So I don't see. I think what biggest, baddest, coolest, whatever. You know, so it's not. We're not. You know, there's no tragedies right now. I mean, there's tragedies. Don't give me that. Sounds horrible. But there's not. I mean, but there isn't any, like, you know, economic crash or anything. I mean, really, that's the time that companies like, you know, lower end companies, I think, have a better shot.
You can basically say the carriers now have made it easier for everybody to keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah. Whether you deserve it, you know, yeah.
Well, at one point, did they stop that? Like, at one point, they stopped it, right? You had to pay up front for all your phones in the U.S. I think like 2 years ago, they say, well, because they actually changed the language. They call it device payment plans now instead of contracts. It's no longer called contracts, even though it's the same thing. But they call it device payment plan. Now they got leasing. I never thought I never thought leasing a phone. I mean, I don't know what you think.
See, and that's what's weird. It's like I look at it. I know, like, I look at my iPhone because I'm paying the same dollar amount, whether I buy it out front or at the end. I'm not looking at, like, I picture I picture not having something at the end if you choose not to. When I picture true lease, I mean, like for me, I'll get to the halfway point. Like my wife did the iPhone 8 Plus. For her, it's too big. She's not enjoying the phone all that much. And it's a great opportunity to just go, boom, toss that phone back after the year or and get the next one. Or in my case, you know, maybe pay off my iPhone and then, you know, she uses that instead. There's just kind of some, it could be a good use as to use a phone in a trial sense and then pay it out later. Or you're like, hey, I love the 10. Let me just pay off the balance of it. $450. It's mine and we're done. But yeah, it's at that leasing with the contract and the tied together. I feel like it was just another way of moving around the money. But ultimately you're still in the same chained in with the carrier. Yeah. And that I hate. That's why I went through Apple. I'm like, no, if you're not going to subsidize the phone, we will never be committed to each other again.
And that's what the carrier gets you. Think about it. AT&T,
I'm free.
AT&T do freaking 30 months.
Yeah.
30 freaking months. Who pay for a phone for 30 months, folks?
I walked into Verizon. I'm not paying your startup fees. You want my business? I'm not paying for your SIM card. I'm not paying for any of that. I am free. Once my last contract ended, it was a negotiation.
Months.
Yeah. I'm like, do you want me as a customer or not? Pay the $25 service fee and give me a SIM card and I am your customer. But no contracts ever again with a carrier.
Oh,
hell no.
That's why I went to T-Mobile. Man,
I'm like, you're the enemy. I am free. I can take my Apple iPhone to anybody I want and then give it back to Apple when I'm done. But you know what? You change the rules of the game. You don't get to lock me in. It was all fine when we had subsidies and I was only paying $199 for an iPhone. Then we could be married.
You pay for a car for what? For 40 months. I don't know how much you pay for a car for 40 months, 48 months. You pay for a house for what? 60 months. You pay for a phone for 30 freaking months, for $1,000 phone for 30 months. Come on, folks.
Yeah.
Now, that's a long damn time. That's 2.5 years. Could you imagine the generations for 2.5, 3 years? 3 years, for Christ's sake, you still be paying on a phone.
I don't even think you get that for assault. You get 2 years for assault.
Oh, yeah.
That's a long time. Oh, my God.
But that's capitalizing. I mean, that's the kind of stuff, though, that, see, these are the things, though, that I wish, the times that I wish government steps in is the times when people aren't kind of smart enough to look out for themselves. Like 0% interest on home loan. And just like when you kind of set up people and you're taking advantage of them, like 30 months for a phone. By the time this thing's paid for, it might not be slowed down by Apple. You know, I mean, but it's like, no, come on.
Don't do it. Don't do
That's
it.
what I'm like.
Within 1.5 to 2 years, you're going to be dying to trade that phone in.
Yeah.
Pay it off. That's why, like, if you know that and you have that, it's better just to go ahead and pay that extra $10 so you can jump.
Yeah, I'm like,
that would be the best bet.
I don't like practices like that look like they're capitalizing on lack of people's researching.
But that's what they're doing it for, because then the person that's doing it and getting into it in their head, they're telling themselves, just like when you get, I know I'll have this phone for 3 years. 3 years. I'm not going to need another one because you just told me this was great. So what's the reason I should get another one? This should last me that long. Yeah.
That's just insane.
Or those people that finance things like through cons or something, right, for a certain set price, but then you got interest and then it's for like 30 months. So you end up like tripled paying for what you bought. And it's like, why don't people realize that? Like, no, don't do that. Because you just pay 3 times the amount of what that product is worth to finance it.
I had a solution. I talked about this last year. And I started this last year, and people don't believe in this. I talked about that. Say, you know how you can buy a phone straight up and they ain't got to pay for nothing or pay for it out. They say, well, how you do it? Well, it's January. Every week, save $40. Every week, save $40 or even $20, right? You got 6 months from now, you go get the new iPhone. The new Galaxy phone, Galaxy Note 8 will come out in about 6-7 months. If you take the phone that you got and you say $20 a month, I mean $20 a week, right? right? $20 a week, which is 2468, is $80 a month, right? And you sell that phone that you got, yeah, you might sell it for about $300. And you put that with the $80 a month for 6 months, you could buy a phone. That's it. Boom, there it is. It's that
buy it
simple.
when you can afford it. Yeah.
Buy it when you can afford it.
But don't forget, we're at that time and age. A lot of times, everybody's instant gratification.
Yep.
Right.
So that's what you want. I want it. I want it now. I want
People
it when I
don't
want
have
it.
the discipline.
And
People
then
don't
that's what
have
I'm
the
gonna do.
discipline to send money back.
Yeah,
And you know what's
that's-
so funny? All right, so let's say $20 a month for 6 months because the big phones coming out, you know, whether that you're gonna get the Pixel, the iPhone, or the Galaxy Note. You'll save $480 in 6 months if you do $20 a week. You got the phone that you got sitting right there. Try to sell it for about $350, right? So let's say $350. Boom, you got $830 you got sitting in a pot. You might have to put maybe about 60 more bucks with it, maybe about 80 more bucks in it. Boom, you got a brand new phone, no contract, no bells, nothing. Just buy it out.
Mm-hmm.
The average consumer don't think about that. I think about it because I mean that's what I got. Well, as a YouTube, I got it's different, but I mean as average consumer, they say okay, every year I buy a Galaxy Note 8 or Galaxy Note, and I know the Galaxy Note go cost me $1,000, or I know that the iPhone go cost me $1,000 because the iPhone 10 costs $1,000. Well, you start in January, you take $1,000 divided into 7 months. Phone ain't coming out for another 7 months. It gives you an opportunity to save that money. Nope, the average consumer wait till that phone come out and say, I just got to sign this contract. It's insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
You know? But at the end of the day, guess what? Yeah, you know, I mean, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And we're right at the top of the hour, guys. And time passed by fast.
Mm-hmm.
Woo, time, man! I tell you, when you're having fun, time passed by fast. And a lot of people will probably hit the comments and say, "Oh, don't stop." But yeah, we try to keep it to a minimum of 2 hours. So I want to do roll call. I want to appreciate everybody that coming through. Shout out to Albert U that's in the building. Again, I like to say this. Albert is a huge supporter to this YouTube channel. Thank you, Albert, for supporting this channel. Thank you for look, me and Albert, we go through it a lot, but a lot of people be thinking me and Albert be beefing. That's not the case. Me and Albert are good friends, and we talk to each other a lot on the DMs. And I like Albert. Albert has a good, sensible knowledge of technology. I like to say that. I like to give that disclaimer because a lot of people, say that sometimes I hear this stuff on the web a lot, and I just want to make sure that people understand that Albert is a good guy. Shout out to Jay Foreman is in the building. He's in the building. Shout out to Big House Production is in the building. Shout out to, let me go up a little bit. Let me see. Shout out to Ace is in the building. My man T is in the building. I see you. Let's see. Anthony is in the building. Oh, dog. What's up with you? He's in the building. And let's see. I got a lot of y'all in the building today. So thank you. Michael is in the building. Big Dog is in the building. What's up with you? I see you. We had that power, Big Dog. We got you fixed. Welcome to the stream, man. Let's see. Fox Mamba is in the building. And so I want to give a shout out to everybody that's in the building, Scrumptious and everybody else. Thank y'all very much. Lewis. No, I can't forget about you, Lewis. I see you in the building. Lewis is in the building. Thank y'all guys very much. This is Eric from Easy Computer Solutions, and I'm going to give my final word to let these guys go and support their channels, support their blogs or whatever. And Mr. Catwoman is in the building, and go on and talk about Tech Valor and everything y'all guys do over there.
Yes, sir. My name is Cecil Betty, aka Mr. Catwoman, Miss Catwoman's husband. You could kind of say I'm a producer on the Tech Valor YouTube page and also other things too. We're Tech Valor everywhere, techvalor.net, Tech Valor Instagram, Tech Valor Twitter, Tech Valor, I believe Google Plus also. Tech Valor all the way around. Check out our YouTube. We got a couple of really cool videos I will be coming out with in the next month or so. I'd really do appreciate if everyone would like and subscribe to our page, and tell your friends to subscribe. to Tech Valor and Easy Computer Solutions.
That's it. That's what I'm talking about. And you know what? I'm gonna tell y'all something. If y'all didn't know, Tech Valor, Easy Computer Solutions work together as a team. And so you guys seen on my YouTube channel, you've seen Catwoman made videos on this YouTube channel. So listen, I really do appreciate all the hard work that she does. Very authentic. Y'all are very authentic. And I really appreciate the work that y'all do. And y'all do a lot of work. Thank y'all very much. And we go get you up there. You know, I know February 20 coming up for the cutoff. So we go Easy Computer Solutions, the community go get y'all where y'all need to be so y'all don't go into this ad apocalypse. So that's one of our commitments that we want to do. Yes, sir. That's it, Jay.
Yeah. So my name is Josh Haynes. I go by Nasty J on YouTube. You can check me out at youtube.com/NastyJ and the number 6. I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, The Nasty J on Twitter if you want to hit me up. I do gaming videos. I also do tech videos, reviews, product reviews, answer any questions. If you have any computer related questions or any tech related questions, really, just hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on Facebook or YouTube. Down to do anything like that to help anybody out, collaborate, talk about almost anything. If you're trying to get into YouTube as well, I'm there for you. Yeah, that's what I'm about.
That's what I'm talking about. And my man Craig, always a pleasure to have you here, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, please check out my channel, Craig's Tech Talk. I have craigstechtalk.com. Right now, just continuing to grow the channel. I kind of challenged myself to be able to make 52 weeks worth of Amazon Echo videos to see if I can find something interesting for the device. But then I do photography stuff, equipment as I get new gear, and just a little bit of everything, and just try to provide a straightforward review that doesn't get bogged down too much in specs, but I just want to educate, help people, inform viewers so they can make an educated decision. So
that's what I'm talking about. 10-minute tech reviews.
Yeah, Reggie, aka 10-minute tech reviews. It's basically 10-minute tech reviews everywhere. On YouTube, Twitter, 10-minute tech reviews, Google Plus, 10-minute tech reviews, and of course on Facebook and on Instagram. My site, again, I used to write reviews before for other companies and YouTubers, just branching out, want to do it myself on my own, just started this year in January. Want to give a shout out to Easy. This is the second weekend, man. I blocked all my Saturdays out. I enjoy it. I used to watch from a distance when you started doing this, and now I love being a part of this on Saturdays. So I'm blocked out for forever until you kick me out. But I enjoy this, and just being around other guys and just talking what we talk about, just like this. So, but again, my page is just the same thing. I'm, just normal reviews, and again, trying to stick to reaching out to the average consumer and educating them. There's a phone for everybody. There's a product for everybody. Just getting them the right information that they need and letting them make their own educated, decisions from that. Not, showing the, I just want to make sure that I don't show. I know I have my favorites, but when it comes to the channel, just getting all the information out to that consumer so then they can make their own educated decision. That's right. And at the end of the day, I want all my subscribers, all y'all guys watching here, to click on these links that we put down in the streams here. I'm also going to put the links down in the description. Go to these folks' channels. Check them out. Watch their videos. If you like it, subscribe. Think about it. If you like it, subscribe. I don't like to force anybody to subscribe to people's channels. Go check them out. Watch one video. Watch 2 videos. Look at their video. Look at their content. If you like it, subscribe, because the smaller YouTubers, we gonna be the one that gonna be dominant in the next year. I promise you that. And I'm making sure of that because we're gonna work hard to make it happen right here. Thank y'all guys very much for coming to this YouTube channel. This is Eric from Easy Computer Solutions. Another Saturday in the books. Ooh, this was a good one.
Thank you guys.
We gotta show the cat. We gotta show the cat. Hold on, show the cat. Meow. Yes. We got the cat. Hey! Hey! Show the cat. That's what I'm talking about. Thank y'all guys very much. This is Eric. See y'all guys Wednesday. Don't forget about Wine Wednesday. Woo! The ladies got something to deal with this Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
Woo-hoo. Peace.